Hi everyone, welcome to the Tiny Studio. I am Nell. If you are new to the Tiny Studio, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you will be notified whenever I upload videos coming straight from my Tiny Studio. And if you are returning to hang out in the Tiny Studio with me, don't forget to hit that like button at the end, or go ahead and do it now. I'll wait. Okay, so today's video is about crochet hooks. Now, when I began crocheting again, let's say maybe about 5 years ago, and I was doing it consistently, I bought a pack of boy crochet hooks, and let me see. Boy crochet hooks are the general hooks that most of us start out using on a regular basis. And so here is a boy crochet hook. And this is a J10 or a 6mm hook. So when you're starting out and you want to learn how to crochet, what you do is you just go to your basic store like Walmart, or you hit a Joann's, or you hit a Michael's, and you look for crochet hooks, and then you look for your yarn. And when you're beginning, you really don't know or understand the importance of the type of hook that you use, and that doesn't really happen until you've probably been working or crocheting for a while. And I would say maybe within the first year, then you begin to see, okay, well, maybe I need to expand my knowledge of crochet hooks, which is what happened to me. So I have been introduced to the standard boy hook by my grandmother, because my grandmother used, or her hooks look similar to this, but she used those real tiny hooks, and those tiny hooks look like this. I got glue on this hook because I was doing something with it other than crocheting, and I was trying to get the glue, some glue. I was trying to get some glue, unclog the glue tube that I had, because I was beading and trying to secure my beads onto, well, I'm a jewelry designer, so I was making jewelry, and I used this hook for something other, and I have glue on other than crocheting. But this hook is let me see what this is, a 2.75mm hook. So my grandmother used hooks that are really teeny like this, and I think she has one that's even smaller than this because she makes doilies. But when you're starting out, you start off with your basic hook size, which is going to be either a 5mm or a 5.5mm crochet hook, and you're really not thinking about what type of tool that is, how it's going to, operate on different types of yarn, how it's going to crochet different types of yarn. You're not thinking about that when you first get started crocheting, but as you go along, then you revisit the topic of crochet hooks. And that's what happened to me. Maybe a year into crocheting, I had to revisit the topic of crochet hooks, because I was crocheting for long periods of time, and after a while with my boy hook, I began to feel pain right in the palm of my hand. So right here, because I hold my crochet hook like this, like a knife, so the crochet hook was in the palm of my hand, and that began to hurt, or I began to experience pain. And so I had to do some research on what type of crochet hooks would be best for me, to being that I crochet for long periods of time and I crochet professionally. And when you begin to do things on a professional level, you realize and understand that you need to have the tools of your trade or your craft handy and available, and they need to be of a certain quality so that you can put out quality work and masterful crafts or artwork. And I started doing research on different type of crochet hooks and started playing with what I wanted, what I didn't want, what felt comfortable to me, what didn't feel comfortable to me. And for a while it began to, for me, it was a comfort level type of thing, but it was about not being in pain. And so I came up with using the Susan Bates hooks, and this is a 5.5 millimeter Susan Bates hook. So I used Susan Bates for a little bit, and as you see, there's this pencil rubber thing, silicone thing on here. And the reason is because when you start getting into ergonomic hooks, because that's the route that I had to go. When you start looking for ergonomic hooks, you look for, comfort as well as form. And so I saw this Susan Bates hook and I was like, well, it looks pretty good, and it looks ergonomic, and I'm going to try it out. And so I did, but then eventually, within less than a week's time, I felt that pain in the palm of my hand again. And so my daughter suggested that I get this pencil bumper thingy, silicone thing, and she suggested that I put it on the end of my crochet hooks, which is a really good suggestion. And so I went ahead and I placed the bumper on this boy hook first, and it just wasn't working for me. And so I eventually put it on this on the Susan Bates hook, and it was okay, but not really. So I started to do some research on different hooks, and I came across 3 that I wanted to take a glance at, and that was the Tulip, the Clover, and Furls. Now I have to see. Okay, here's the Tulip. I first purchased the Tulip hook, and I purchased the Tulip and the 5 millimeter hook. So here's the Tulip. Okay, so what did I think about this hook? I liked it, and it served me well. It was a pretty decent hook. But what I did not like about the Tulip hook was the Tulip ergonomic hook is the fact that I didn't like the hook itself. Can you see it? I needed more. I needed something that was going to grab the stitch or grab the yarn. And I had issues with the Tulip because the way it was made, and it's made in a way it just wouldn't grab the yarn or grab the stitch the way I needed it to. So I used the Tulip maybe once or twice, and then I eventually tossed it aside. I then decided that I would try, I decided I would try Boy. Boy has ergonomic hooks. And so I bought a pack of Boy's ergonomic hooks. And I have one here, and let me see if I can find another one. Here's a Boy ergonomic hook, and this is a 6.5. So I bought the boys ergonomic hooks, and you know what? I really like them. I really like these hooks, but there was something wrong for me with this hook. And what bothered me about this hook is not the hook itself, because it grabs the yarn very, very well. Grabs it and keeps and holds it, and it grabs stitches really well. Yes, it does. You can see that it's shaped just a little differently than, let me show you, it's shaped a little differently than the Tulip, and you can see that right there. You can tell the difference. So I enjoyed using it, and it wasn't painful to use. What I didn't like about these hooks is the fact that they had a short neck. So as you see, the neck is short. So for a few projects that I had, I couldn't use the 6.5 boy ergonomic hook, because the neck is short. And no, I didn't need that. But there's a project that I had that still worked out a little bit, and this is one of my favorite boy hooks right here. As a matter of fact, there's a video with me using it. This is I believe this is a 5.0. I believe this is a 5.0. I don't know. And that's another thing about hooks, the number, the identification of what the size is wears off, and that kind of sucks. But anyhow, I really think, no, I don't think this is a 5 either. I think this is a 4.5 hook. I think so. But anyhow, this is one of my favorite hooks, and I use this on a lot of projects. But I love it because I love the metal, and I love the way the yarn and the stitches glide, and I have really great speed when I use this hook. And as you see, I love that hook. You see how it looks? You see how it's shaped? It just grabs that yarn. Ooh, just grabs it and just glides. But another tough thing about this hook is that the neck is short, and I don't like that. Not a fan. However, the yarn, the hook that I made, maybe about 40 scarves, was this hook by Boy, and it's a 10 millimeter hook. It's not ergonomic at all, but it's a metal hook. And what I liked about this hook is that it grabs the fabric, and it has a long neck. You know, I really like this hook. And like I said, I've made about 40 or so different, scarves, and I really like using this. It's really great on chunky fabric. But eventually I had pain in my hand after holding it for extended periods of time. So I did some more research, and I came up with 2 brands that I absolutely love and that I use a lot. And that came down to Furls, and then the Clover. Yes, you are right. These are 2 different types of hooks. They are. But what did I love about them? Why are they my favorite hooks? Well, Clover for one. I absolutely love the material that they are made of. I love the material that my Clover hooks are made of. They feel so good in my hand, and it feels like a silkiness, very soft but strong. Soft but strong. And I love the hook. You see that? I love the way this hook is made. What size? This is a 10.0, a 10 millimeter hook. I love the way the hook is made, the way it is designed. And yes, you may say, well, Nell, that still has a very short neck. That's true, it does. But it gets the job done when I need it to be done. And the way that the hook is shaped and the what the hook is made out of, the neck, it allows the yarn to just glide. Just glide. And remember I was saying that about this particular hook, and the reason why I enjoyed this hook so much is because of the metal neck and because of the way it glides. The fabric glides with the hook. The material that the Clover is made of, the hook just glides. I mean, not the hook, the fabric, the yarn glides against here. And so I am not necessarily conscious of the fact that it has a short neck. But the Clover feels so good. Right now I am using a Clover 5.0 on some projects right now. And this is the Clover 5.0 H. And I want to say that this is some type of aluminum, because it feels like aluminum. But even though she has a short neck, that hook is beautiful. And the aluminum allows me to transition and to just crochet. It's a very smooth crocheting experience. And so this is one of the hooks that I'm using right now, is the Clover 5.0 or H hook. And it's designed in such a way as to, when I say I can literally crochet for hours, I can literally crochet for hours because of the ergonomic shape, because of the materials that the Clover hooks are made of, and then just the fact that my hook glides through the stitches, that the yarn just glides onto the hook, and the fact that I'm able to grab my yarn and yarn over so efficiently. This is one of the #1 tools in my crochet toolbox. But I had to try out the Furls. And when you think about the boy hooks, you know, with boy, you're not going to spend a lot of money. It's very economically friendly, and you're not going to have to break your wallet or your pocketbook to buy boy crochet hooks. And Susan Bates, they're pretty affordable, and when you're starting out, why not? However, I decided that I would invest in some furl hooks. And my first furl hook my first furl hook I think I already showed you the size 10 hook Clover that I was using. But because I was making a lot of not sweaters, a lot of scarves, I was using this 10mm boy hook. Okay, and as I said, I was doing really well, but of course eventually the palm of my hand began to hurt. So I invested in the Furls hook. Yes, I did. Now look at the Furls hook. Look at that hook. Wow. Just check that out. Ooh. I'm grabbing yarn now. Look at that hook. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that neck. Look how the neck is structured. Look at that. The Furls hook, great investment. This is a size, as I said, this is a size 10, and this is their streamlined wood hooks. And I fell in love with Furls, and so I began to invest in Furls. And I really want to also invest in their Odyssey line. They have several collections in their within their brand, but you can start off basically with the Furls wooden hooks. And this one is a size, this is a size 8. This is the size 10. And let me see. I also invested in their, I think this is the Taurus. I'm not sure. I think it's the Taurus. This is one of their this is their line that has resin. That's their hooks that this is the hooks that are made out of resin within the Furls line, and this was the Odyssey. Oh, no. This was the Taurus. I think I said that already. This is the Taurus, and if I am incorrect, please drop down in the comment section and let me know what the name of this particular Furls crochet hook is. But this is the Furls Taurus. And here's the hook. Look at that hook. Oh my goodness. Just beautiful. And then just look at the neck. You see the neck? Look at that neck. Oh, look at the curvature around there. This is just the ultimate crochet hook is the Furls. And yes, it's a little pricey. And let's see, here's the other. I want to say this is the Aries Furls hook, and let me see. This is a 5mm. Look at that. Yep, this is the 5mm Furls hook. So I invested in the Furls hooks because I just felt like, well, you know, I'm in my tiny studio often, and this is my profession. I enjoy crocheting, and I crochet for personal and professional purposes, and I need tools that are going to last me and that are going to be efficient and comfortable. And that's one of the things that I have always said about if you are a crafter or you're an artist, or I'm also a writer, so you need to have the proper tools to use to accomplish your purpose, but you also want your tools to be efficient. And when you are able, upgrade to, or I should say, make the investment, because that's what the my Furls crochet hooks are. They are an investment. They're an investment in my business. They're an investment in my passion, and they just feel so good and look so beautiful, and I enjoy a good Furls. Now, it wasn't like I jumped up and just bought all those Furls hooks. No, because there are a couple of these hooks there that cost about $30. So no, I didn't just up and buy a whole thing of Furls crochet hooks. I bought them a little bit at a time. I think the cheapest hook would be the wooden hooks, and I believe these hooks cost I want to say $18. So this is the cheapest furl hook, the streamlined wooden hooks. So these cost about 18 bucks. I believe that when I got my why do I keep saying Odyssey? When I purchased the Aries hook, resin hook, and the Taurus hooks, I think those were like about $24-25 at the time. But you can catch a good furl sale and get them for less. But you know, I have several more in my over in my tool chest, and so I've invested quite a bit of money in the Furls brand. However, that might not be you, and hey, you know, that wasn't me either. So the next best thing to do, or to get in, or to invest in, would be the Clover. And I would suggest everybody to invest in some Clover hooks. Now, yes, Clover crochet hooks are expensive, but they're not as expensive as Furls. Okay? And yes, I would suggest, if there's something that you like and you really want it, go ahead and get it. You know, why torture yourself? Go ahead and splurge on yourself, because hey, why not? But with Furls, you know, that can be a splurge, and you could have purchased maybe 2 Clover's hooks for the price of for 1 Furls hook. So what I did with my Clovers is that I just started buying them piece by piece. And I've seen a set of Clovers at Joann's for $84, and I've seen them online for about 80 something dollars. My suggestion is to just buy them piece by piece. Amazon is a good place to start to purchase your Clover hooks, because that's what I did. So you start off by the hook that you use the most. And the hook that I used the most was the 5 millimeter hook. And I just bought that. And then every month I would buy a Clover crochet hook. Some months I would buy 2, until I had every size that I felt was necessary for me to have in my crochet toolbox. So that means I have size 10, I have a 5 point, why do I keep saying 5.0? I have a size 5 millimeter, I have a 4.5 millimeter, I have a 4.4 millimeter, and I have, let's see, a 7. Yep, I have a 7. Let's see. I have quite a few. I have a 6.5 millimeter. This is an 8 millimeter Clover. Here's a 9. Oh, let's see. Okay. Here's a 5.5 millimeter clover. This is a 3.5 millimeter. And this is the 4 millimeter clover hook. So I have basically all of the clover hooks, all of the clover crochet hooks that I would, could possibly need for a project. And I have used about all of them except the tiny ones, such as the 3.5. I haven't used that yet. Basically, yeah. This is the only one that I have yet to use. 3.5. As I said before, I'm not a fan of lightweight yarns, so I'm not really trying to do that. But I felt that it was necessary to at least have the crochet hook in my toolbox, and since it's a clover, why not? And that's what I did. I invested in all these clover crochet hooks, and was it worth it? You may ask. Yes. Yes, it most definitely was worth it. It was worth the money, and it was most definitely worth me taking my time to acquire them. And I most definitely would advise anyone who is a crocheter to go ahead and invest in a really good set. And that's my set, my clover set. That's my set of crochet hooks. And I would advise anybody, every crocheter, to invest in a good set of crochet hooks, because that is what's going to take your craft to another level. Hi, Constance. Did you have a good day at school today? You did? Okay. That's my daughter Connie. She's coming in from school. She's a senior, right? She's going to be graduating next month. I'm really excited. So, what was I saying? Oh, it's really good to invest in a good crochet hook set, and I would advise investing in the clover set. And like I said, you don't have to go out and spend $80 or $100 on crochet hooks. Just buy it piece by piece, maybe 1 or 2 pieces a month or every other month, according to your budget, and you will treasure them. You will absolutely treasure them, and you will want to continue to add to your toolbox. Just like with the furls, there is another set of furls that I want, and as much as I adore these resin furls hooks, I would love to invest in the Odyssey series. And the Odyssey series, is shaped similar to the similar to this, but the hook is made out of some type of aluminum. So I want to try that out, and they look so cute. I would like to just have a set of them, probably in maybe purple or pink or something of that nature. We'll see. But for me to be able to, make afghans and complete different orders that I have or receive from customers, I need a good hook that I can use, that I can take from, the tiny studio to the living room to the bedroom, maybe to the doctor's office, you know, to the show. Anywhere I want to crochet, I want to be able to have a very, very comfortable hook that's going to get the job done, and Clover has done that for me. Now I do want to say this: before I completely gave up on the Tulip, I bought another Tulip, and there are different types of Tulip crochet hooks. This was one. I didn't want to give up on a Tulip, so I bought another Tulip. And this is a 5.5 millimeter Tulip. And so I purchased this Tulip, and I'm going to say that it felt really good in my hand. I really enjoyed it. I loved it. But the flaw that this particular hook, crochet hook, has is the hook. You see that hook? Now what I liked was I like the curvature here, but what is the deal on this hook? I mean, the problem is that I couldn't grab any yarn. That was difficult, trying to grab the yarn, having multiple loops on this particular hook and being able to, you know, pull through. No, it did not work for me. And it's the hook. It feels like it just wasn't right. And as you see with the Clover, let me see if I can find that other hook, the same corresponding size. Let's see, where is it? Okay, is this it? Yes, this is it. Okay, now let's compare both of these hooks. Okay, do you see what I'm talking about here? Now look at the Clover hook, which is the screen one. Now look at the hook and look how you can grab yarn with it. But look at this one. It was cute. It was cute. It was pink. I tried to love you, babe. I tried to love you, but it's just your neck gang, your hair gang wasn't right. That was wrong. That was wrong. But where's the lie? Where is the lie? So I didn't want to give up on tulips because I had heard so much about them. I heard good things about them as well, but they just didn't work for me. It just didn't work out, and I didn't want to give up. So I bought two different lines of tulip, and they both didn't work out for me. So I just said, what are you gonna do? So I just went ahead and invested in some Clovers, and then I also invested in my Furls hooks. So what is the moral to this story? The lesson is you have to find a crochet hook that is going to be comfortable for you. It's going to fit comfortably in your hand. Also, if you arrive at the point where you want to invest in some hooks, do your research first. And it's okay to buy a hook and try it out, because how are you going to know that you like it if you don't try it out? So go ahead and do so. Try it out. If it doesn't work, invest in something else. Make sure that before you invest in something, what I would suggest when you're getting started investing is what I want to say is that invest in your favorite sizes first. The sizes that you need most, that you work with the most, start investing at that point. So for me, when I first began, it was the 10 millimeter because I was doing a lot, making a lot of scarves with chunky yarn. So I needed a 10 millimeter hook. So my first hook and my first major investment was my Furls hook, and then I went over to my Clover hooks. Another thing, it's okay if you can't afford to buy some of these crochet hooks out here because they are expensive. What you can do, and seeking to buy a good quality crochet hook, is buy one at a time and buy it in the size that you use the most. And like me, buy 1 or 2 hooks a month until you build your collection. Another good thing that I have learned about crochet hooks, especially a Clover's hook, is that you can find them everywhere. A lot of people sell Clover hooks. You can find some on the Facebook market. You can look on Etsy. You can go to Amazon. I'm trying to tell you, the Clover hooks and ergonomic hooks in general, they are everywhere. You just have to know where to look. And remember, when you're building your toolbox, your crochet toolbox, the thing is that you want quality. Not quantity, but quality. Quality is what's most important. Not quantity, it's quality. Yes, I have a lot of crochet hooks. Great. But I don't use all of them. I don't use all of them. Yes, I have a lot of crochet hooks. But guess what? It's not the quantity, it's the quality that I'm always looking for. And I feel that way about yarn as well. I don't care how much yarn you may have. To me, it's about the quality of the yarn, because it's the quality of the yarn that makes a beautiful, beautiful garment at the end of the day, or home good, or wintry accessory item. And a crochet hook is the same thing, same principle. It's not the quantity, it is the quality of the crochet hook that you use, because the quality, you're going to be dealing with how it feels in your hand, and then you're also going to be dealing with the type of production that crochet hook is going to put out. Because there are some crochet hooks that, unfortunately, drop stitches, split yarn, which, if you know me by now, I really hate that. That bothers me a great deal. Drop stitches, did I already say that? There are crochet hooks that drop stitches. Oh, that frustrates me a lot. So you're looking for not quantity, you're looking for quality. And especially if you're in the you're doing this professionally, I don't have to tell you that having an adequate toolbox is necessary. So I hope that you were able to pick up a little bit of advice on crochet hooks, and I hope my experiences was able to, help you and inspire you. And just know you have to, if you're trying to build up your crochet hook toolbox, it's going to take some time. You don't have to run with it. Go at your own pace. And just remember, Steady wins the race. Steady and sure always wins the race. So thank you so much for tuning in, hanging out with me in my tiny studio, and check me out next time as I chat it up about something either vintage coach, something to do with fiber arts, crochet, or my journey as a dreadlock diva. Thank you so much, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, and please like this video at the end. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.